Okay. I'm going to talk a lot about dating and romance in this video, but I just want to clarify this is not a dating and romance video. Right? I'm not going to tell you how to pick up women or get the girl or get laid. I don't tell men what to do with women romantically one way or the other. Right? You can be a lifetime celibate, a lifetime virgin, or you can sleep with a million women. Right? Okay, as far as I care. I don't tell you what to do. It's your business. Okay? And I can't give you advice that will get you the girl. I can describe gender dynamics, romance dynamics, and I can explain the dynamics between social interactions between men and women. And feminist man-haters like Free Pink Ferocious Punchy Womb weaponise the ambiguity around social dynamics to smear and attack men. Now, female or male hostility is a spectrum, right? And some women are just overtly hostile. They'll just call men rapists, pigs, and they'll actually be, and a lot of them will be violent to men in relationships and beat them and falsely phone the police on them. Okay, those are high social dominance orientated women, high spectrum female or male violence women, right? But a lot of women, their aggression against men is more low key, and it's actually constant undermining, invalidation, and emotional starvation. It's an ostracization strategy. It's an ostracization instinct with women. That's what these women are doing. It's a spectrum. And I've actually had women who like do low level ostracization against me, or they make it clear they don't like me. And once they've gotten to know me, they've warmed up to me and they've been friendly to me and even affectionate. But they're still on this. It doesn't mean they're a good, friendly pro-male woman. It means they've gotten to know me and they're slightly lower down on the spectrum of female or male hostility. And there's always the potential of them to turn on me and to be hostile to me again. Right? Okay? And there's some women, they're so high on the hostility spectrum, the female or male hostility spectrum, I think I've just invented that. They're so high on that spectrum, they're actually even hostile to men they're quote unquote friendly with and in relationships with and intimate with as well. Right? The hostility is always on. It's always on. Okay, so I'm going to look at this Twitter exchange. And then I'm going to talk about dating dynamics and flirting dynamics. And by the way, this is the only blog you should look at when it comes to dating, in my opinion. There's problems with it. It's still too POA centric. There's some mistakes here, but this is the best knowledge on dating. So the Pro-Male I took a lot of my knowledge from this. The Pro-Male Collective indirectly took the knowledge from this, and we improved upon the information here. Okay, right. Okay, and I want to say something else as well. The 4 pillars of the Pro-Male Collective. There's 5. And I'm going to give credit to a 5th pillar, even though I think he's a complete scumbag as well. There's 5 people who laid the theoretical groundwork for the Pro-Male Collective. There's me. There's Eric. He doesn't post content. Really, he doesn't make content. He helped me with the Pro-Male Manifesto, which we made. But he has good insights as well. Talking with him has improved my insights. There's City Crusher, and there's Kyra, who disappeared, and then there's Pro-Male Revolutionary, who's a complete scumbag, but he did offer some important insights as well, so credit is where credit's due. So we've taken the knowledge from this, and other sources, and MGTOW sources, and men's rights sources, and we've improved upon it, okay, and we're still improving upon it. Okay, so we honestly believe our insights on female and male nature are superior to anyone else's insights. We'll take the Pepsi challenge against any other movement, basically. So anyway, long preamble. Sorry about this. Let's just get on with this. So, dear not all men, a woman being nice to you doesn't equal wanting to sleep with you. A woman talking to you doesn't equal wanting to sleep with you. A woman looking in your general direction doesn't equal wanting to sleep with you. In fact, most women do not want to sleep with you. So this is talking to desperate, needy men, trying to frame them as creeps and trying to dash their hopes. It's just letting them know, women do not want you, women do not like you, go away in a corner, curl up, die invalidated alone. That's what this is. That's the motive behind it. Okay? Verse 2, I think this is an absolute statement. Any social interaction could be a woman showing interest. Okay? And there's a lot of ambiguity and vagueness about it, which women do on purpose, by the way. Men would love it if women were just blunt and says, yeah, I want to fuck you, and I want to be with you, I like you, I love you. That'd be great. Men would love that, actually. Okay? But the ambiguity is set up by women, right? Okay? Women have social dominance. Women control romance. Because there's a basic demand imbalance between men and women. Men demand women more than women demand men. Dating site statistics prove this. It's not up for debate. Okay? Any claim and denial of this is gaslighting. I've actually been called an incel for saying that. Basically, like, women are outnumbered by men like 5 to 1 on dating sites. It's probably even worse now, because that information I'm talking about is out of date. Like, they set up these dating sites with fake female profiles to get male engagement, so they pay for subscriptions. If the demand from women was there, they wouldn't have to do that. If demand from women was there, there'd be no dating sites. You wouldn't need this artificial gate that men have to pay for, right? If the demand was there wouldn't be special Tinder subscriptions where men pay £500, right? Be vetted by the site to prove that they're high status enough to pay £500 to get a chance to be with women, right? That's a barrier, that's a hoop that women set up. There's a demand imbalance. So anyway, because there's a demand imbalance and women innately do not like men, women spend their time invalidating men. Emotional starvation, invalidation, disparagement, right? Okay? You're not wanted, you're not needed, we do not like you, go away. Okay, fact, most women do want to sleep with you. I would actually agree with that, but the motive for saying that is wrong. Now this one, I want to talk about this one. A woman looking in general erection doesn't equal wanting to sleep with you. Okay, I'm going to talk about how women glance at men and how women flirt with men. And this is going to be a long video, by the way, because I feel like I'm actually talking about social dynamics in a way that normally do not get talked about. And I want men to learn this so they do not get gaslighted by women like this anymore. Okay? So, I had struggles interacting with women, right? Okay? And I learnt something, right? I learnt something from an older man, and I appreciate what he told me. He was in his 50s, I was in my mid-20s. This is like 17 years ago or something like that. It was a long time ago. Okay? But there was this older man that I met, and he told me about flirting and how women flirt. And actually, the stuff he told me, in retrospect, made me realise I missed out on opportunities with women. Like, I remember I used to hung around with this girl briefly, and I never got to meet up with her again. But I would go into her room and I'd talk with her, and she was lying down, face front, her butt showing, and I didn't pick up the social cues, and I just remember it years later. I thought, oh yeah, I think she was interested in me. But yeah. But he told me stuff about women, and it was very helpful in not necessarily getting women, because I haven't been too successful with women. He actually helped me get some women, but not very many. But he helped me understand female social cues, and he actually helped. And I don't necessarily use them to flirt. I use them to observe women, and I use them to observe how they interact with other men. Right? Okay. And let me give an example. I knew of this older couple, right? And there was a woman who was very attractive. She was beautiful. I'd love to have a piece of her, right? And I knew she was married, right? I thought I wouldn't mind a piece of her, right? I wonder if she might be receptive to an affair, because I do think that with married women. I wonder if she's receptive to having an affair, right? Even if I won't necessarily go through with it, I'll think it. I'm just being honest, right? And I saw the way she was looking at her husband, and this is so rare. This is why this sticks out. This is so rare, right? she was glancing at her husband with love and lust and affection in her eyes. I've never seen a long-term married couple like this with such chemistry. I've never seen this, and I thought, nah, she's not going to be receptive to having an affair. Right? Okay? But anyway, this man, I picked up on this because this man, he talked quite a lot to, in person. This is not online, this is in person. He told me things about women. Right? I'll be forever grateful to him, actually. Just for improving my knowledge about human nature. He told me about women when they're receptive to being flirted with. Right? And he says, when women are eager to interact with men, when they're receptive to being flirted with men, right, they've just got this eagerness about them, they've got this openness about them, and you look at men, they glance at men in a certain way, and it's very hard to describe, right? It's very hard to describe, that's what he said, it's hard to describe, I can't describe it, but when you know it's there, and you know where it is, you can spot it. So, what does this like look mean? What does this openness mean? Right? There actually needs to be a word for this. It needs to be conceptualized. But this openness, it doesn't mean that woman's going to sleep with you. Right? It means she's interested, she's receptive, she's attracted to you. Attraction is in milliseconds. You can't create attraction. She's either attracted to you or she's not. Right? That's how attraction works. Okay? But she's receptive to you. Okay? That's what that means. Now, I'm bringing this up because we're going to talk about flirting later. Right? Because this woman's going to talk about flirting. It means she's receptive to you. And you can flirt with her pretty much safely. Okay? Like, I've spoken to women and I've just let them know with very unsubtle euphemisms that I want to fuck them, right? Basically, I've used a line that says, I want to know you, and I mean that in the biblical term, and the biblical term means I want to sleep with you. I've said that as a pickup line, and I didn't sleep with that woman, but she liked it and she laughed, and she says, no, I'm married, I can't, and we just talked for a bit, and that's it. Boom. It was a comfortable interaction, okay? And the thing is, I can pick up when women are uncomfortable. I know when women are uncomfortable. I know when not to do that and when to do that, right? I can promise you, I know when I can get away saying to a woman outright, I want to fuck you. And she won't freak out and she won't have a meltdown and she won't be, I won't say intimidated, but she won't be offended, right? I know when I can do that. It's the look, it's the openness, right? The woman's not giving off any signals. You don't know her. It's cold. You can't just walk up to a woman in the middle of nowhere and say, hey, I want to fuck you. Right? She'll have a fucking meltdown. Right? It's just common fucking sense. Okay? And here's another thing. Do not hassle women. I don't mean that in the feminist, vague, nebulous sense. Right? I mean, if you interact with a woman, she's uncomfortable, she makes it clear she doesn't want any further interactions, you leave them alone. You make that for men as well. Right? You leave them alone. Okay? Now, I've heard stories about socially awkward, pushy men at the gay bar. Right? Coming on to men and they don't take no for an answer. And I've had pushy women, I wouldn't even say they come on to me, I've had pushy women doing pretend aggressive flirting. They're pretending to flirt with me, but I don't think they're actually interested in me. I don't sense any interest, but they're pretending to flirt with me to try and humiliate me. I ignore them and they follow me to try and aggressively flirt with me even more. I've actually had that happen with me, right? So this is how flirting and interaction works. If a person's not receptive, just out of respect, you leave them alone. Period. Right? You leave them alone. Okay? And if not out of respect, out of your own self-interest, you just leave them alone. Right? And you don't get into trouble. Okay? So I've flirted with women after I've seen that look from them, after I've gotten the cue, the social cues, the vibe, the openness. Alright? I've actually dated women due to it. Okay? One of them was fucking crazy, but yeah, I've dated women due to it. I've had some flirting, right? Okay, I've made friends with women over it. Okay, right. I've let women know I'm interested in them, and they don't want to take it any further, and I've made friends with them. or they're in my social circle. And like, basically, I'm in their social circle. They don't freak out. They don't eject me. They don't spread rumours about me. Right? They know I'm attracted to them. They know I've got interest. Right? Okay? That's how it works. It's led to dating sometimes. Okay? And I generally don't bother flirting with women anymore because I get less openness, social cues, because I dress pretty trampy a lot of the time now. I don't dress smart. Okay? And I don't ever plan to dress smart. I think I've said in a video in the past, I used to have a suit. I used to wear it sometimes for job interviews, and that's when I got the most interest from women. Okay? And I can remember every single woman who's given me that glance, who's shown me interest. Right? Okay? Like, I can even... I'm digressing a bit here. In my early 20s, I was really nervous around women. I was shy. Okay? And there was this beautiful Sicilian woman. And she was like 35. I was in my early 20s. I had a MILF thing. Right? I know this sounds like a boring vlog, but anyway, I'm just going to say this anyway. Because I just want to show I've been on both sides. Okay? Okay? So, she was in my social circle. She was at the periphery of it. And she was so beautiful. She was so beautiful. And she was attracted to me. Right? And she said, hey, why aren't you talking to me? I'm interested in you. She didn't say, oh, hey, why aren't you talking to me? I want to talk with men. Right? And she was giving me glances, she was giving me smiles. And I was too scared to speak to her. And I still didn't even speak to her. Right? Okay. And then one day I saw her in the street with a friend. And I thought, I'm going to speak to her. I'm going to speak to her. And I didn't speak to her. And I thought, no, next time I see her in the cafe, I'm going to have the courage to speak to her. Right? I just want to speak to her. She's a beautiful woman. I'm just going to speak to her. Okay? And I never saw her again. Okay. Who knows? She could be an awful woman. Who knows? But I don't think she was. Okay. And from what I heard from other men, she was actually quite easy as well, which is good. That would have been a good sign. Maybe I would have gone to sleep with her. Okay. But I was nervous. I was totally clueless, and I did try cold approaching because I felt ashamed. I felt like I was a loser. I've got to man up. I didn't think I had to man up, but I took that man up nonsense. I've got to man up and be brave and talk to women, right? And it was really stressful, and it caused me to nearly have a breakdown due to nerves. And like, it humiliated me. It made me angry. It made women uncomfortable. It made me feel humiliated. I only did it a few times and I stopped doing it because my instincts were telling me not to cold approach women. I was absolutely correct not to do so. So anyway, this man told me how women glance at women when receptive and interested. And when I picked up on it, I got bolder. I got quote unquote braver. Okay. I started talking to women who gave the signals, and I had safe, comfortable interactions with women ever since. Completely safe. I've never had a woman melt down on me once. Never. Right? The only time I've ever had a woman melt down with me, okay, I've had 2 women melt down with me, interacting with them and flirting with them, and that's online. It only ever happens online. Right? That's it. That's it. Yeah? Okay. Right, that's it. It's never happened with me in real life. So I think I know what I'm fucking talking about. Okay? When it comes to this. And also, I used this knowledge to observe women. Okay. I was in a park, right? And there was 2 women hanging around with each other. And I was going to move from the place I was going to live. I was getting ready to move in the next few days. And I was just in the park. So I wasn't going to flirt with this woman at all. Full stop. And this woman was talking about how she was homeless, she had to leave her last boyfriend, and she was basically hinting to her girlfriend that she wanted someone to stay. And the girlfriend was offering advice and help, but she didn't want to hook up, not hook up, have a board with her. And they were both very attractive women, right? And the one who was desperate for someone to stay was a blonde woman, right? Okay. So the blonde woman who was desperate to stay somewhere, her friend left her, right? And I was sitting there on my mobile phone, and the blonde woman noticed me, and she was giving me these receptive signals. She was like being very making eye contact, just smiling a lot. And I think I'm good looking. I've been told I'm good looking, right? I was still dressing smartly back then as well. Okay? And I could have flirted with her, but I wasn't interested because I knew she had she was just looking for a place to stay. That's why she was being receptive, and I was moving anyway, so there's no fucking point. So, and I can tell when women are attracted to men they're talking to, and I can tell when they're not really attracted to men they're talking to, right? I actually see women in relationships with men they've got no interest in them. There's no chemistry there. I can pick up on this, okay? So yeah, that's my experience with flirting. I think that covers all the dynamics, more or less, right? And I was using personal anecdotes just to talk about the dynamics, okay? So anyway, this woman goes, a woman being nice to you doesn't equal wanting to sleep with you. A woman talking to you doesn't equal wanting to sleep with you. A woman looking in your general direction doesn't equal wanting to sleep with you. Blah blah blah. And I go, you love taunting men who get their hopes up. So what she's doing, she's punching down on desperate men. Right? Desperate men, she's just punching down and letting them know they're not wanted. And she's not like trying to break it to them in a kind way, right? Okay. And also I've realised she's falsely framing it. In fact, most women do not want to sleep with you. No. These are not just men who want to sleep with women, these are men who want relationships with women. Right? Men who can sleep with women are not worried about relationships. You have to get the relationship to sleep with women. The sleeping with a woman is a de facto relationship most of the time, even if it's only short term, right? These are desperate single men. I go, you love talking men who get their hopes up. If men get their hopes up because a woman says hi in passing, they have bigger issues than getting some. So, and she links me to BetterHelp professional therapy. She passive aggressively links me to therapy, which is therapy is bullshit anyway. But linking someone to therapy to invalidate the point they make is a sort of invalidation abuse that a narcissist would do. This woman's a narcissist. Okay. So I go, oh, so since you're a man-hating woman, you have no idea how women interact with men when they're attracted to them. I'll make some typos here. Quite often, women do say hi to the men they're attracted to and make eye contact in a certain way, which I've just talked about. So I think you need to shut up on the subject you know nothing about. So I later find out she's been married for 20 years. She doesn't flirt anymore unless she's trying to cheat on her. Well, she might flirt. She doesn't flirt to get... If she's not cheating, she doesn't flirt to pick up men, right? Married men still flirt with... Married women still flirt just to flirt. Okay? I'll get more into that. My husband of 20 years disagrees with you and wants me to tell you that a certain way isn't a thing. Unless you know for sure she's flirting, don't assume she's flirting. Mr. Pink. So I think she watches my channel, Mr. Pink and Yellow. So, unless you know for sure she's flirting, don't assume she's flirting. That's let's not mean Mr. Pink and Yellow. I think the pink ferocious punchy woman. Mr. Pink's the married guy. Okay, he's quoting him. So, unless you know for sure she isn't flirting, don't assume she's flirting. So, I don't take flirting advice from married guys. I don't take flirting advice from married guys who've been married for 20 years. And I don't take any flirting advice from someone who says, unless you know for sure she isn't flirting, don't assume she's flirting. Because the whole point of flirting is that it's ambiguous. That's the whole point. It's showing potential interest, but it's ambiguous and it's plausible deniability. That's the whole point of flirting. And this blog post talks about that as well. The ambiguity of flirting. This is why I mentioned this. Look this up and read the articles. This talks about the ambiguity of flirting, right? And there's a study linked in here that talks about how women actually are no better than men at picking up social cues of female interest. Actually, I do better. I think I haven't tested it, so this is just me just guessing, right, or speculating. But I think I do better in picking up female attraction cues than most people, because of what that man I talked about told me. He basically told me quite a bit of stuff about women, right? Okay, so unless you know for sure she's flirting, don't assume she's flirting. Mr. Pink, that's not how flirting works. Are you sure your husband's not made up fictional character in your head? flirting tends to be very ambiguous. Yes, flirting is ambiguous. It's vague, it's nebulous on purpose. So let's get back to flirting. Women flirt just to flirt. They enjoy the flirting. It doesn't necessarily have to lead to anything. Women have more options than men, right? Women can get on like a dating site and have 50 men messaging her. She's got a pick, right? If she just wants dick, she can get dick. If she wants a relationship, she can get a relationship. They want high status men, so they have to be more discerning, right? There's less choice in that regard, but that's on them. That's because they only value men for their status. If they value men innately, they would have a candy store, right? But women can find men easily, right? Okay, so women do not flirt in the same way men do. Women flirt to have fun and to have they enjoy the flirting. Some men flirt to have fun. Like I might flirt with an old granny who I don't find attractive, and we have a laugh, right? Okay, a lot of men do that. Men flirt with women they have affection with in their social circles, but they don't necessarily want to have a relationship with or have sex with. But a lot of men flirt to get a relationship because they're desperate and they're needy, right? They want that woman, they're flirting, and they go, oh my god, this woman's flirting with me, she must want to date me. And it doesn't lead anywhere because he's either too low status or she just doesn't want a relationship at that time. She's already got a man, right? And then he thinks, oh my god, I had a chance with her, she wanted me, she wanted to date me, and I blew it, I must have said something, I must have did something wrong. And the dating coaches gaslight them and tell them that's what happened. Oh, dating coaches tell men, oh, do this and that, or you'll drive the woman away. Oh, this is what you're doing that drive women away, right? That's what the dating coaches do. They play on that. Flirting is not ambiguous. If you think it is, that's why women keep on telling you to go away. Women don't keep on telling me to go away. I don't flirt with women who don't show me any interests. I don't try and barge into social circles, which I'm not part of, right? So women don't tell me to go away. I've only ever had 2 women melt down with me online who flirted with me. They flirted with me and they turned on me, they switched on me. Women don't, so what she's doing, she's creep shaming me, straw manning me and committing a non sequitur. So did the voices in your head tell me, did I tell you by psychic medium that women were telling me to go away? Did the voices in your head tell you that? So this is gaslighting, non sequitur, gaslighting, creep shaming, all rolled up into one, right? Straw manning, okay. Massive list of fantasies. Flirting is not ambiguous. Flirting is ambiguous. That's just a lie. That's why there's a term, flirting around the issue, not engaging the issue. That's what it means. Flirting, to fly around, a bird that's flirting around. Flirting, indirect. Flirting. There's a reason why they use the term indirect for flirting. Right? Flirting. An indirect way of hitting on a woman. Flirting. You are a gaslighting bitch. And now go to personal. I can think about these 2 social interactions on the top of my head when the woman wouldn't take no for an answer. That sort of thing. That sort of thing happened to a woman. She would have a meltdown on social media if it was done to them, and they would play a victim forever and blame all men for it. Right? Okay. I've had weird, awkward social interactions with women when it comes to flirting and romance. I've actually had one woman who was stone cold to me. I was trying it on with her, right? Then I just gave up. Okay, like it's weird. She was like sort of friendly to me. She invited me to her place. I was wondering if we was gonna get to make out, right? I don't have sex with women on the first date. Okay, because that could be. Okay, I might as well get because I'm not gonna talk about this again. Okay. I find if I try and have sex on the first date with a woman, okay, I'll be too nervous to have sex. I don't want to do it. It feels awkward. I go by the 3-date rule or the 2-date rule. I want to make out with the woman on the first date at the end to see if she enjoys kissing me and she has chemistry with me. So you kiss a woman in a certain way, and she's got chemistry with you. She likes your pheromones. She kisses you in a certain way. If it's like a wet fish type kiss, there's no point going any further. Because he's got no chemistry with you, and the sex will be shit. And I might not even be able to get it up. Okay, so anyway, this woman invited me to her place. She lived near me. She was on the periphery of my social circle. Okay, and then she just suddenly kicked me out. Okay, that's weird. She's not interested. And I saw her again, and she was hanging around me drunk, and I was sort of ignoring her because I heard things about her. I heard she was a drug addict, and she was in crack. And I remember the conversation. Oh, because she was a bigger fat. She was a BBW. She was fat and attractive. And people were saying, "Oh yeah, she's on crack. It's amazing that she could be so big and she's still on crack, right?" But she has a very beautiful complexion. She looked healthy. She was absolutely stunning and beautiful, right? She was like one of the most attractive women ever. But she was a drug addict, and she was hovering around me drunk, and I was sort of being cold to her, right? Because she sort of made me nervous about the things I heard about her, right? And then she went, fine, if you're not interested, she just stormed off. Like, she invited me to her place. And she was like sort of weirdly cold. And she was like hovering around me like she wanted sex with me right away. It was very weird. But that was that's an awkward social interaction. Everyone has awkward social interactions, right? And I'm not judging her for being a drug addict. There's something about her that suddenly made me nervous. I'm not judging her for it. I'm not judging her for being socially awkward, right? We can all be socially awkward. Some of us are very socially awkward, right? Human interactions are socially awkward. Women make them socially awkward and have arbitrarily made up rules and create hoops for men to jump through. And if they jump through them, they just shame them anyway. Social interactions are complicated and awkward, right? Okay, so I'm not shaming her for it. But they're difficult, and it's just not men who find them difficult. Okay, but women, they get to be social awkward because they're validated and affirmed by default, and they're at the centre of social circles. I know countless women that if they were men, they'd be perma-virgin, deselected, low status, incels, and they'd probably be homeless or somewhere, right? They're completely useless. They're low functioning, right? Okay. So many of them have got drinking problems or drug habits, right? They're low functioning, but they've got a man in their life. They're validated. They're at central social circles. They've got a family. They've got a love life. They've got a provider. They don't work, right? Women, how they deal with social circles, they have it like it's like a cheat command console in a video game. They've got cheat command consoles basically, right? Okay, that's what it's like for them. It's not even easy mode. It's cheat command console mode for them. Okay? And this is punching down. This sort of thing is punching down. Because social interactions are harder for men than it is for women. And these are psychopaths with no empathy for men. So they're just gaslighting them. Okay? Now, she retweeted my thing. I don't know about anyone else. But it's very obvious when I flirt. So, as we've said, she's been married for 20 years. It's not obvious when women flirt. A lot of women don't make it obvious. So women, here's another thing. This blog covers this as well. Okay, women, they often quite give off very vague signals of interest, and it's up to men to initiate the flirting. Okay, women who are interested, they don't initiate the flirting. They're passive and just wait for men to initiate. So they have meltdowns if the flirting goes badly, or they feel it goes badly. If it's socially awkward, right? Okay, they have meltdowns over it and call it harassment. It can go well. She can find the man attractive, and then later on retroactively decide that the flirting was inappropriate and have a meltdown over it as well and falsely accuse him and me too him over it. Like, men have been me too'd and fired from their jobs from, oh, he flirted with me, I feel it wasn't appropriate, right? Okay, it's not just cheat command mode, cheat command mode. This is an analogy. Men are like NPCs in Grand Theft Auto, and women are like the player characters. And like, we all play Grand Theft Auto, and you love tormenting the NPCs, killing them, beating them up, scaring them, robbing them, whatever you can do, like injuring them. We love tormenting them, right? Okay. Like I walk past an NPC, says something rude, I'll beat him to death. Right? I'll walk past an NPC in Grand Theft Auto and he says something nice to me, I'll beat him to death. I'll go, what? You speaking to me, son? Okay. That's what flirting is like with some women. Like a man will just flirt with a woman, she'll enjoy it at the time, and then later decide to me too him, right? Zap him. Okay. Right. Okay. 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 Gaslighting 101. I'm not like other women. If you do not know how things work for heterosexual men, shut up. Stop punching down on men when you have sexual and social privilege over them, which is true. I know how things for heterosexual men that respect women as people. So that's gaslighting. So basically, she's implying many things. Men who are desperate and flirt with women do not respect women as people. She's implying that men in general do not respect men as people. Okay, she's implying that if you respect men as people, that you'll have success with women, right? Okay, there can be a man who doesn't respect women as people, a man who thinks women are objects, right? There's serial killers. There's serial killers who go out, chop women up, treat them like objects, dump their bodies, bury them, and they have relationships. They're married. Okay, a man can think a woman is an object and not respect them as women and still have relationships with a high status. So this is bullshit. If that leaves you out, straw man, then you deserve being punched down upon. So that's a straw man, gaslighting, and creep shaming. And it's implied. So I'm objecting to how she's speaking to men because it's disrespectful and it's invalidating and it's gaslighting and it's abusing. But she's trying to frame it as me complaining about being left out from dating. That's what she's doing, okay? I'm left out because I'm too low status in the eyes of women and I find dating boring and expensive. That's true. Okay, so, like the last date I went on, and it was a relatively cheap date, I still blew lots of money, right, on drinks and on food and the cinema. It didn't lead to anything. I didn't particularly find the woman attractive. I didn't enjoy the kiss at the end, right? So, boom. And that's like, and that was a lot of effort to find that date as well. Okay, so I just decided to knock it on the head. And I'm not a MGTOW. I didn't walk away from dating. It's just like the barrier to entry is too high. It's too much effort. So I'm deselected. I've never hassled or bothered women who show no interest in me. So that's another assumption you make as well, scumfuck. And I'm trying to find another post. Now this is another one. Do not underestimate the Republican Party's desire to outlaw all forms of birth control and make rape legal. So this the same woman is saying that the Republican Party wants to make rape legal. Okay, this is what planet she's from. Okay, there's some other tweets that were made by other people, and they were denying that flirting was ambiguous and it was vague and nebulous. They were just denying it. They were just gaslighting me. They've told me I never interacted with women, right? Okay, blah blah blah. But this woman was just invalidating men, and she was invalidating me, and her followers were invalidating me as well with gaslighting. Okay, and she thinks men want to make rape illegal. So I'm not gonna take anything this woman says seriously. Okay, so this video is sort of rambly, but I think it's got good information. I think I've told people good information, and you can use this in your life if you want to. Okay, because you don't need to use this to date women. Use it to observe women. Okay, and I've noticed another thing as well. Okay, like women talk about like men can get hassled for touching women. Right, they can get shamed for touching women. I just mean like intimate, friendly touches, like a pat on the shoulder, a light pat on the back, even a. It depends on the context, but like a light pat on the butt as well, which I generally don't mind. I don't mind when I do mind women doing it to me now. Women have done it to me in the past. I don't generally do it to women because of the risks, right? Okay, but I think in the right context, and like it's context. A lot of physical touching and affection is context. You don't just walk to a random woman on the street and pat her on the butt, right? But if you've got a colleague or if you've got a friend or colleague, right, you might pat her on the butt. It might be okay to do it, right? Like maybe she's patted you on the butt in the past, or she's put her arm around your shoulder, right? And you like give her a click slap on the butt, and she goes, "Ooh, cheeky," right? Friendly, flirtatious. I recommend you don't do this at all now. But I'm saying there's ambiguity. There's no clear written rules. And by the way, in the UK, it's illegal to stare at women. Have I told you that? I think I've done a video on that. Okay, so it makes danger. So it's vague, ambiguous, right? Okay, and there's mixed messages given to men as well. So men, I've had women tell men to man up and just tell that woman you're interested, just hit on her, right? I've had men told to do that. Okay, I've had men told, oh yeah, women will let you know and flirt with you if they want to flirt with you, which is a lie, because women give us social cues, vague, passive social cues that even women struggle to pick up upon when they observe them, right? Okay, that's gaslighting. There's no clear rules. I prefer it if men were just told, you're not allowed to flirt with women, it's told, shut up, leave them alone, it's a criminal offence. At least it wouldn't be ambiguous, right? It'd be clear, right? It would be laid out clearly, okay? It'll be laid out clearly, okay? So, yeah, this is long and rambly. I think I've said everything about flirting, the risks of flirting, how social interactions work between the sexes, okay? It's nothing like what these people say, right? Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm over and out. Okay, done.